Welcome back to The Explainer. We are diving straight into something that is literally rewriting the rules of modern management today. We're unpacking a really fascinating 2025 bibliometric analysis published in Discover Sustainability by researchers Udine and Udin. It maps out this concept that is completely shifting how we lead and succeed in super complex environments, and it's called paradoxical leadership. Take just a second and ask yourself, how do you balance ultimate control with total employee autonomy? Think about your own day-to-day workplace challenges. Organizations today are just wildly dynamic. We're dealing with volatile markets, we're integrating AI and automation, and we're managing the incredible complexity of a multicultural, multi-generational workforce. It's chaotic, isn't it? The old rules just absolutely do not apply anymore when you are being pulled in 10 different directions all at once. So, to make sense of all this, here is our roadmap for The Explainer. We'll start with the modern leadership dilemma, then define paradoxical leadership, and take a look at the massive global research boom. After that, we'll track the evolution of key themes, cover the real-world workplace benefits, and finally get into some actionable ways for embracing the paradox. All right, part 1, the modern leadership dilemma. Look, today's leaders are operating in environments where disruption is just the baseline. You've got stakeholders demanding short-term financial wins, right? But they are simultaneously demanding long-term sustainable growth. You have teams that need strict operational consistency, but also need the creative freedom to innovate. Now, traditional leadership approaches usually force you to make a choice here. It's an either-or trade-off. You choose stability or innovation, control or autonomy. But in a complex world, picking one inherently damages the other. Paradoxical leadership, on the other hand, demands a both-and mindset. It's all about simultaneously embracing those competing demands. It's fostering creativity and experimentation for sure, but doing it within highly reliable systems and structures. Which brings us nicely to Section 2, defining paradoxical leadership. So, formally, paradoxical leadership is a style characterized by simultaneously embracing and balancing seemingly contradictory demands and expectations to achieve optimal outcomes. But honestly, the truly vital part of this whole thing is viewing those contradictions as opportunities rather than problems. It's a total perspective shift. This style equips managers to navigate really intense tensions and foster constructive dialogue without just defaulting to those simple restrictive trade-offs we just talked about. But, it definitely requires high cognitive complexity. Okay, moving into Section 3, the global research boom. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this isn't just corporate buzzword bingo. We actually have the hard academic proof. Notice the incredible hockey stick spike right here in this line chart. From the year 2000 up until about 2017, publications on paradoxical leadership were barely a blip. We're talking mostly under 10 documents a year. But look at what happens post-2020. The research just absolutely explodes, hitting 39 published academic documents in 2023 alone. The global academic and business communities are rapidly waking up to the fact that we need this leadership style just to survive modern organizational chaos. And where exactly is this research coming from? Well, a massive 56.3% originates in business and management. That obviously makes sense. But notice the outer edges here. The social sciences, psychology, and crucially, fields like medicine, representing over 14% of the research, are heavily involved now. Healthcare leaders, environmental scientists, they are all recognizing the profound need for paradoxical strategies in their own backyards. And to put that into perspective, this is a truly global movement. The United States leads the field with 46 key documents and a massive H-index, building really heavily on American research movements in organizational ambidexterity. But look at China right behind them with 39 documents showing a rapid, massive surge in research output. And then they're followed closely by the United Kingdom with 33 documents. This impartial data shows us that across totally different cultures and economic systems, the authority and the momentum behind paradoxical leadership is universal. Let's move to Section 4, evolution of key themes. So the scholarly conversation around this topic hasn't just grown in volume, it has profoundly matured over the last 2 decades. Check this out. Pre-2015, researchers were mostly just looking at individual employees, like how paradoxical leadership affected basic job performance and personal motivation. But then, right between 2015 and 2020, the focus shifted to team dynamics. We started seeing research on psychological safety and trust. And finally, from 2020 to 2023, the paradigm shifted entirely. Now we are looking at complex organizational change, things like ambidexterity, long-term sustainability, and embedding a permanent paradox mindset right into the corporate culture. And this brilliantly illustrates that exact evolution. This is a keyword co-occurrence network straight from the study. The green circle right in the center is paradoxical leadership. But look at all the threads connecting it to the outer nodes. It's like a giant puzzle. You can literally see the dots connecting to modern concepts. We see job crafting, where employees shape their own roles. We see sense-giving, where leaders are helping employees make sense of all these competing demands. And crucially, we see well-being and sustainability. It's this beautiful, holistic web of modern management. All right, on to Section 5, real-world workplace benefits. So the theory is super fascinating, but what does it actually do for your team on Monday morning? Distilling the source data down, the practical applications are incredibly proven. Paradoxical leadership enhances organizational agility. It dramatically increases psychological safety. A major key term in the research is OCB, organizational citizenship behavior. That basically means employees voluntarily going way above and beyond their formal job descriptions simply because their personal aspirations align with the company's vision. It fosters disciplined innovation, and this is incredibly important right now, it significantly reduces burnout and improves overall employee well-being. I absolutely love this takeaway from the research. It says, paradoxical leaders encourage innovation and risk-taking by emphasizing that failure is a valuable opportunity for learning. Think about that dual focus for a second. You are maintaining an incredibly high standard for performance, sure, but you simultaneously create a psychologically safe environment where failure isn't punished, it's analyzed. That is how you actually support real, game-changing idea generation. Finally, Section 6, embracing the paradox. We know what it is, we know the research backs it up completely, and we know the benefits. So how do we actually implement it? Well, here is how a paradoxical leader behaves day to day. Step 1, you must provide a very clear framework and structure. But within that, you grant total autonomy so your team can openly share knowledge without the fear of micromanagement. Step 2, you balance internal competition, pushing individuals to excel, while demanding really close synergistic collaboration. Step 3, don't just separate work and life, integrate them to offer flexibility that genuinely reduces stress. And Step 4, reconcile that relentless strive for quick, short-term results with a deep, unwavering commitment to long-term environmental and economic sustainability. So, to wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with this thought. In a world of constant, unrelenting change, are you managing contradictions or are you letting them manage you? Developing a paradox mindset isn't just some academic exercise anymore. As all the data clearly shows, it really is the future of resilient leadership. So take these insights, apply them to your own teams, and start turning your greatest tensions into your absolute greatest advantages. Thanks so much for learning with us today.